Hi everyone, it's Gene Calderon here with Gene Calderon Apologetics Ministries, continuing on with our teaching videos, our series for our theme days. And today, being Tuesday, we're going to look at what we call Tuesday equals Truth Day. Now, this is the day where we look at the Gospels, again, the biographies of Jesus Christ, to be able to tell whether or not they are true and reliable and accurate for us to be able to read and believe in and trust. That's something we do with every ancient document or all the ancient writings that we follow that we're taught in school or in classes or things like that. So why not do that with the Bible? If the Bible is a truly unique document, it needs to be investigated, and that's what we're doing. So when we look at the Gospels, the biographies of Jesus, some people have asked, what is the oldest copy that we have? Because how close in time can we get to the original writings of the actual authors? As we mentioned before in the previous teachings, we don't have any of the original writings. In other words, we don't have a document that was written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. All we have are copies that were made as these manuscripts were being circulated around. So how can we know what was actually in there? Well, last time we talked about all the copies and comparing the copies to one another and see if anything has changed. And what we learned from that is that much of it is very reliable and very well preserved. And so that gives us no reason to doubt that what we're reading today is the same as what we've been reading would have been read in that first century when they were originally written. But then another aspect is how close are those copies to the time that they would have been written. That's another big factor that many people would have been interested in order to confirm what we're reading in the Gospels. Well, in February of 2012, it was announced that there were 7 New Testament papyri, which is a paper-like material that was produced from plants that they would write on. Those had been recently discovered, and 6 of them were dated probably towards the 2nd century. Up until now, no one has discovered any 1st century manuscripts in the New Testament or of the New Testament. The oldest manuscript of the New Testament that we have had in our possession is a piece known as P52. It's a small fragment from the Gospel of John that dated back to the first half of the 2nd century, and that was discovered back in 1934. So the papyri, it functions in order to confirm what the New Testament scholars have already thought was what the original wording had in it. So these new papyri will no doubt be able to continue confirming what we know or challenging some ideas, but in all cases, we're trying to find out the truth. And so far, the Gospels have held up very, very well. If they were writing something that was false, the people who were alive who saw this and knew what was actually true would have stood against it and not allowed this writing to continue. But if it is true, and this is written during the time of the eyewitnesses, and it was confirmed and continued on, then that gives us a huge reason to believe that what we're reading is accurate and true when it comes to the Gospels and the life of Jesus Christ. So that's where we're at with looking at the manuscripts. We do have many copies to compare with, and they're very early. When you compare other ancient manuscripts, you start to realize that copies weren't made until hundreds of years later. So how do we know that there was any consistency or things that were kept as they were? When we talk about the Gospels, the copies are very, very early, which again, especially if this was during the lifetime of those who actually wrote the originals or actually witnessed the events that are being spoken about, that would have confirmed or denied those writings. And so that is a huge plus for the Gospels as having accuracy and being trustworthy. So I hope that helps you, gives us something to consider and to look at when we're studying the Gospels of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I am Gene Calderon. I am a local missionary here in Hammond, Indiana. I serve with Ratio Christi at Purdue University Northwest and just training and equipping students to be able to defend their faith, know their faith, and give details like this to answer questions about skeptics who say that the Bible's been changed and you can't trust it and things like that. This is real, historical, archaeological, scientific way of sharing information with them that may draw them closer, which then opens up opportunities to be spiritual about receiving Jesus as their Lord and Savior. Also, I serve at my home church at Freedom Church, East Chicago, Indiana, serving with Bible studies. A lot of videos are being posted for that, and you're welcome to join in on those or just leave some comments, questions, thoughts, ideas, and we'll continue serving in that way. But again, thank you so much for watching. I will be back here soon for another Tuesday Equals Truth Day, or check out any of the other days where we have different themes. They're all meant here to serve and to bless you. Thanks again for watching. God bless.